Welcome to the Practice You podcast. My name is Elena Brower. Let's dive into today's conversation regarding life's myriad transitions and how we refine our responses in our relationships, our wellness, our households, our work, and in our practices. You are invited to learn and love and listen with me. Welcome to Practice You. Welcome back to the podcast. I have with me someone who has had a huge impact on my life in the last few years, particularly on my experience of menopause. More on that later. If you're a man, you can still listen. And if you're not in menopause, you're younger, I strongly recommend you listen. I have the great pleasure today of speaking with Lisa Odenweller. She believes in the power of food as medicine, that Mother Nature is our greatest resource, and that what we put into our bodies is as much about fueling our bodies as it is fueling our souls. She's a San Diego native. She's a visionary serial entrepreneur. She's a wellness expert with over 15 years of experience. I dare say it's probably more. Her impressive resume includes titles as founder of organic superfood cafe Beaming Wellness, which is in LA. Most recently, CEO and founder of Kroma Wellness. And the spelling of Kroma is important if you're listening. Kroma. She is the founder of this brand, the functional nutrition brand that is literally revolutionizing the way we think about nourishment. A little more on Lisa. And if you want to look at her bio and her sort of website while I'm speaking, go to kromawellness.com, Kroma Wellness. The beautiful model there is a friend of ours. After falling in love with superfoods nearly 2 decades ago, long before the word became commonplace within the sort of health industry, Lisa really began harnessing their power within her own life. And this is where her mission began. Lastly, Kroma Wellness is a functional nutrition company on a mission to simplify how we live our healthiest, most vibrant lives. They are offering on-the-go foods and beverages that deliver maximum nutrition with minimal preparation. These are the 5-day signature resets that I've been doing at least once a year for the last 5 years as I navigated, or 3. How long have you been open, Kroma?
Well, you got the pre-release,
Lisa?
So
I did, right.
Did. So you got the before anyone else did. But 2 years coming July that we've been launched officially, but you got the secret stash before.
Dude, all I know is that since starting this reset a couple of times a year, my experience of menopause has been a lot easier. There have been other factors, of course, but taking a 5 days off of the whole food business and going into these super nourishment, super food laden packets of goodness has completely changed my experience. Every time I thought, I think I might be gaining some weight here, boom, drop it.
I love it.
It's unbelievable. And it's not just a drop the weight like the way that it was when I was 17 and I was, body dysmorphic. It's drop the weight in a healthy way, losing the water weight, making sure that your gut is healthy, your gut biome is healthy. It's unbelievable. So
thank you.
I have so many questions.
I mean, just even to zero in on the comment about the weight, there's an aspect of just feeling good in our bodies, right? And when we feel inflamed, when we feel bloated, when we just don't feel optimized. And I've been now for 15 years creating foods to help optimize. And I have this new saying of radical aliveness and really just like feeling good in our bodies. And part of that is just at a weight that we feel comfortable. And part of getting there is nourishment. And it's the exercise and it's the meditation, it's the yoga, it's all the things. And there's a lot to juggle there, and between your work and my work, and it's all pieces of the puzzle. And it's been a beautiful journey for me to create these foods and really for myself and then share them with others.
So now we're going back 3 years. Jody Levy, the one and only.
The one and only. We're going to send out
the one and only
right now to her.
Please do. She just lost her father,
I know.
by the way.
I know.
Double O Dad has left the building and left in his wake so much love. Oh my God. He's the reason for so many things that are so good in my life. I have to say that.
That's so, and her
Truly.
family is so special.
So she comes over. She hands me these packets. They're still like white. They have just like sort of text on them. They look very scientific. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, no, I promise. You have to start on these right now. So we made like a blueberry shake with some nut milk. And I had the super greens. Pretty sure I had maybe it was the cranberry elixir or the magnesium. Whatever she gave me, I consumed.
Well, and you want to hear the best part is that my daughter is the one that was hand packing those for you. Who's been working with me since she was 13.
Of course.
She's 25 now, but in the kitchen creating all of these products. I guess we have 15 different products. And with me side by side, not only making them and formulating the recipes, but then creating them during this, what we called beta, which is what you got to taste. And so all those little packets were hand packed by her.
Oh, they were incredible. And I will say, I want to talk about the reset first, then I want to talk about the matcha, and then I want to go backwards a little bit back to beaming and your experience there. But the reset for me, if you're listening to us, our dear listener, the reset for me is a way to sort of, when I'm in the middle of a launch or I'm in the middle of a particularly hard time when something is happening and I don't know how to handle it. When James is away and I'm on my own, the reset is the best thing because you don't have to cook anything. You maybe want to warm up your bone broth or use warm water for some of the drinks. The matcha in the morning, I love it warm. But it's the best way to actually give yourself, your body, your mind, your schedule a total break and be undistracted by the whole concept of food for 5 days. Ramp up your energy, enhance your health. Your gut biome is the first thing that I always notice. Like I'm always feeling so much better in my belly when I do the reset. And actually just live your life for 5 days without having to be distracted by food. I love this reset, like I said, and I just really want to take a moment to thank you for it and talk a little bit about it. This very original way of presenting and packaging and also delivering the nutrition that you're delivering in it.
Thank you so much. When you're an entrepreneur, what feeds you is hearing stories like this and how this gift that you create really helps to up-level people's lives. And so thank you for sharing.
For real.
And,
Yes, you're welcome.
And having been in food, using food as medicine and using food for healing, if you will, from my own personal journey has really been about it's kind of that marriage of function and flavor, but more importantly, creating foods that not only make you feel good, but taste good and that fit into your life easily. We're so busy and we're juggling so many things, whether it's business, whether it's motherhood, whether it's business and motherhood or fatherhood or all the things traveling here and there. And I think we all are well-intentioned. We want to feel good. We want to take good care of ourselves, but it's not always easy to do. And what I've tried to do is simplify it. I've tried to take the best ingredients, put combinations together that really make you feel good, and just make it fit easily in your life. And so, as you were saying, with Kroma specifically, I wanted it to be in your pantry. I wanted you to have access to it or in your purse whenever you need it, whether it's how you wake up in the morning with the matcha, and we have multiple versions of matcha, but the one I drink is our beauty matcha with collagen and ginger and turmeric and mushrooms. And I can't even start my day without it.
That's me too, by the way, the beauty matcha. It's so good.
It's so good. And it literally, I had one girl today say she had COVID the last 2 days and she said beauty matcha brought her back to life, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
And
I literally have it every single morning that I'm home in my house. I don't travel with it because it's a little tough to travel with. But the minute you start making Shine packets and selling 5 to 10 of those at a time, I will be the first online to buy them.
We have them, darling. I'm going to make sure you get them. And yes, they're available in packets. And so that's what I travel with because I travel all the time. So it is something that, again, it's the simplicity of it. And how do we fit into your life? When you establish a ritual, I want you to keep it. Right. And those are really important to create, to continue those rituals. And so, again, the beauty matcha, the porridge, and how satiating it, makes
The
you.
porridge is epic.
It's
Epic.
with the nuts and the
No, it's epic.
and it's like this little packet that you just are like so nourished, like you can, like your soul feels it. And
Airplanes, by the way, the porridge on airplanes is ridiculous. All you have to do is get somebody to bring you some hot water, a little bit, put the porridge in there, and you're good. You don't get hungry for the shitty plane food.
no, totally. And
It's the best.
it's the best. It's easy. And if you happen to have some berries, you throw it on there. Our bone broth, which we bring in from Australia, and the veggie broth, right? All the broths are just
Drinking it right now. I'm drinking bone broth right now. But every time I do the cleanse, I set aside like 1 or 2 packets each day so that I can travel with them or use them when I want them randomly. And so I'm sitting here with a mug of your bone broth, chicken. So good.
it like literally warms your soul. And
Mm-hmm.
because I have all of these things every day, it's what allows me to feel nourished in the day. And then as I'm traveling, or now I just got to the hotel in LA, I'll go out to dinner tonight, but I'll have Chroma probably all day, which is really my everyday rituals because I feel so good. But then if I go out and have a little more indulgent dinner, I don't feel bad because food is one of my passions in life. And so finding that balance, and so much of the design of Chroma as the reset, but really the individual products that are about your daily rituals, is designed to help you have the tools to feel good in your body, be energized, be up leveled, be able to show up fully in all aspects of your life, for your work, for yourself, for your partner, for your kids, for your workouts, and then make it work for you. And one of the things, having designed cleansing programs now, and I don't even like the word cleanse, we can come back to it, but for the sake of the conversation, programs that are an organized format, right, that really nourish you. Most cleanses don't. And I've always focused on, I want you to feel so good. And I know we all want to look good too. So the two go hand in hand. But I want you to feel and look so good that you're inspired to make simple shifts that are going to transform your life. And the design of both the beaming cleanse, when we had that, the superfood cleanse, and I did sell beaming years ago. So that cleanse doesn't exist anymore. But then now transferring all of that energy and passion and love into the Chroma reset was, I want this to be something that you look forward to. I want health to be a gift. I want it to be something, even from the time you open the reset, the box, or any of the packaging. I want you to go, yes, I get to do this. I want you to just feel like this huge hug when you do it, and then look forward to not only the 5 days, because I think our culture is such that somehow we have to punish ourselves to look and feel good in our bodies. And I'm not about that. I've never been about that. I think the way that we really have change and transform is when it's something that we can easily adopt because we look forward to it. And I just don't believe punishment and sacrifice and deprivation needs to be even part of that conversation. That's how coming out with this reset was, I'm going to create a program that is actually so abundant that it's more food than you can possibly eat, because it's part of you learning intuitively, what do I need? And checking in with yourself. Do I need that smoothie today? Do I need that afternoon latte? Do I need to add vegetables to my broth because I had a really hard workout? Or I'm just a little bit more hungry? Because everyone's body is different. Everyone's goals are different. And I really want, so much of the thought process around designing the program with Dr. Cole, who we both love, was, it's going to have all the function, but it's really going to be lifestyle based, because then we can make the changes. Then we can pick our favorite foods from the reset and then keep incorporating them. I probably have Chroma 6-7 times a day, and I don't get sick of it. I love it because I also know how I feel when I consume it.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I think it's important to highlight for our listener a few things that you've just reviewed. One is, this is not the kind of cleanse where you're sort of fasting and ravenous and you have a headache and everything goes to shit. you're actually fully nourished during this reset. And I think it's better to call it a reset than a cleanse, even though I do refer to it as a cleanse in my own sort of mind. It's very adaptable. Like you just said, it's very abundant. It's super practical. There's no containers or anything. They're just little packets of powder, and they're all so well formulated. And I do feel like it's an incredible reset indeed for energy, for sleep, for weight, for digestion. I can't thank you enough for this. I can't sing the praises of this reset enough. So the presence of all of the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and even collagen, probiotics, superfoods, mushrooms, adaptogens. I think this is why we're all having this very transformative effect. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about your ultimate sort of, 3 to 5 year plan with this. Does this keep going? Does it evolve? Does it change at all? I'd love to hear about your future.
So, I didn't create Kroma to be a reset company, right? And we actually do call it a reset, not a cleanse. Sometimes I use the word cleanse because not everybody associates with the word reset. But I created it to create products that easily fit into multiple moments of your day, from how you start your day to how you finish your day to how you nourish your afternoons, how you keep your 3 o'clock moment alive and not have to run for coffee, to how I fuel myself before a workout, after a workout. How do I get my body back after having a child? How do I nourish myself while I'm, pregnant? Whatever the moments are, how do I take care of myself on a plane, at the office, at the park? So the products that we currently have are meant to meet those multiple moments of the day. I mean, our magnesium, everyone says they sleep better than ever because of our magnesium, and it'll knock me out within 30 minutes when I have it. And
Yeah, it's true.
that's a good
It's
thing.
very good. Very good product.
We need to sleep. It's one of the most important things we do. So as we expand with Kroma, and I'm giving a little teaser here, but you'll be the first to tell the world, but we have several new products coming out. One is a granola. And, this is just one example. It's a superfood granola that's got, I think, 14 ingredients in it, and it's nuts and seeds and all the delicious things that we always use, the combinations that we use, which are quite complex. So a lot of time, thought, energy, love goes into the creation of every product. But again, it's like, how do we take granola to the next level? We've got a bone broth ramen coming out. It's gluten-free and it's so delicious with turmeric.
Oh boy.
I am so spilling the beans right now because no one knows it.
Wow.
But
oh my goodness.
Just, examples. There's so many really cool products that we're going to continue to innovate, continue to create, use the products that we have. And maybe the cookie butter might just happen to come out in a little squeezy packet soon, so you can throw it in your purse and take it with you. It's all the things, again, how do we simplify your life? How do we meet you at multiple moments of the day? Not just for you, for your partner, and for your children. And so I look at it from the holistic viewpoint of the whole family. And kids actually love the porridge, and they love the cookie butter, and they love the broth. And my kids love it too. So the products are designed really for everybody. And then we will continue to just innovate in creating these incredibly delicious foods that nourish you, but that you really look forward to, and that up-level and simplify your life.
So wonderful. I'm just so excited about all of this. The ramen really blows my mind. I'm going to sneak it into Jonah's room and not tell him that it's gluten-free.
It's so good. I can't even, don't mention it, because I promise that you'll never know.
I will not mention it. So on the other sort of products, because I focused so far on the reset just because it's had a huge impact on me, but the other products are really incredible. I've ordered before and loved the giant bag of super porridge. The matcha, obviously, you've already heard about my obsession. The magnesium, I'm also fairly obsessed with that product as well. And I alternate it with another magnesium, and I do notice the quality of yours for sure. I'd love to, lastly, go over the idea of fueling versus starving. I think this is important for our listener.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a huge part of why cleanses on the sort of the aggregate are misunderstood. And I think this idea of fueling our bodies, giving ourselves extra protein, extra avocado, extra veggies if we need it with the reset, giving ourselves more to optimize our performance in whatever it is that we're doing, whether we're on the reset or not. This is the most important conversation we can have, I think.
I agree.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this part.
Well, I touched on it earlier, and I think so much of this mission I've been on for the 15 years is around nourishment. And when I started beaming, it was during the juice cleansing days. And I remember just watching my friends party from Thursday to Sunday and then juice fast Monday to Wednesday. It was just, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, it's so just so we fit back in our skinny jeans. Like, what's the point? What are we doing? And why are we doing this? And does anyone know that there's 220 grams of sugar a day in these programs? Because yes, it's fruit, but it's still sugar. And, we're not really meant to drink an entire jug of, carrots and beets. And there's no fat and there's no fiber and there's no protein, and you feel terrible and your brain doesn't work and you crash and you can't exercise and you're grumpy and you're not having caffeine, but you normally have caffeine. And so you didn't drink it for 3 days, but then you had a raving headache. I was just like, why are we doing this? And nothing's changed, because if it was a 3-day juice cleanse at the time, by day 4, you went right back where you were. And so I challenged this idea of these cleanses and this deprivation programs, and there's plenty of them. Most of the ones that exist on the market today, I'm not going to name them. We know who they are. 600 calories a day, synthetic ingredients, not natural, or it's, rabbit food. And you feel terrible. And you can't show up for any aspect of your life. And you cannot wait for day 6 so you can go right back to, champagne and French fries. And don't get me wrong, I love champagne and French fries. But if day 6 you're racing back to pizza and French fries and champagne, I have failed. And because nothing changed. It was for a quick hit, a quick fix, and that's not where transformation happens. And it's not where we really get to connect with our bodies. It's actually when we disconnect from our bodies. So for me, it's been creating foods that are nourishing, that are going to create that macronutrient profile. And when Dr. Cole and I worked together, it was like, how do we create a macronutrient profile that has that balance of fat and fiber and protein? And yes, you need a little bit of sugar, but we're going to use maple sugar and keep it really low, because if it doesn't have a little sweet, you're not going to like it. And make it something that is fueling you. And what we hear over and over again from all of our foods, whether you have them individually or you do the reset, is I had more energy than ever. My brain was turned on. My digestion worked better. I slept better than I have in years. And you felt connected to your body. And you felt like you were in your body. And you showed up fully for everything in life. And I got to exercise too, because I actually want you to move. I don't want to stop movement because I didn't feed you. And that's where I've really approached this for 15 years, from a very, very different mindset. And part of it is around this idea that we don't have to starve ourselves to look and feel good in our bodies. I want all of us to have a good relationship with food. As someone who was afraid of food for many, many years, and you mentioned menopause, and what that means as we change our bodies and we want to feel like we have some control over this change that's happening. And I'm 52. I'm not quite in it yet, but I feel some changes happening, but I at least feel empowered. I feel like I'm in control with what I can control. And what I can control is how I feed my mind and my body. And that makes me feel good.
The best moment was when I started to feel a little bit of weight coming on, that I hadn't changed anything about the way that I was eating, but I felt a little weight coming on. I was like, okay, I see you. And I just did a reset. And that was the very first one that you sent. And I was like, okay, let's see if this works. And it completely worked. I want to sort of slowly start to wrap us up, but I do want to give our listener the morning, afternoon, evening, because if you are listening and you're interested in the reset, it's an investment in yourself. I really want you to know what you're getting into. So breakfast in the morning, You've ideally not eaten for 12 hours. Eat your dinner last thing at 6:30 or so, let's say, and then eat again at 6:30 a.m. Have your matcha.
I'm going to stop you
Yeah.
there just for a second, because I think what's important about mentioning that is there's all the buzz around intermittent fasting. And I think what we're really doing is a couple things. One is we're encouraging you to fast for 12 hours. You could do 13 or 14 and whatever maybe you're accustomed to or want to trial. But the important thing is eating early, which is going to help you sleep better. It's going to help you metabolize better. It's also going to help your brain and all of the kind of cellular recovery that happens when we eat early. So those are part of the reasons with that. And then it actually, when you eat earlier, and you're not snacking at night, it's easier to wake up in the morning. And thus you're able to wake up earlier with more energy because your body wasn't spending the whole night trying to metabolize your food. So I want to just sort of get a little more insight into sort of the structure of that and how much better actually your digestion works when we do that as well.
Thank you for that. Really seriously, thank you for that. This was part of my shift into intermittent fasting, this reset the first time. So I'm really thankful you gave that description because I took it for granted. Breakfast is the super porridge. It's a little packet of porridge. You pour in your warm water or even nut milk. You can add berries if you want. Awesome. Sometimes I added like chopped walnuts. I don't know. It was just so delicious. Then you hydrate with cranberry hydration elixir throughout the day or as needed. That's usually when I work out, so I would have the cranberry after the workout. And then I would do a boost smoothie. So there are a few different plant-based smoothies. And by the way, you can have matcha vegan. So there are vegan options. If you're listening and you're like, I don't do bone broth, whatever, cool. Veggie miso is awesome. There are times when I'm not doing any animal and times when I am, depending on my blood work. So there are options if you're a vegan. The boost shakes are amazing. And I always put those, I blend that sachet with some non-dairy milk that I make myself and my almond cow. It's so awesome. And then sometimes I'll add like frozen berries. I'll add frozen spinach if I'm feeling frisky. Lunch comes, and that's where you have bone broth or veggie broth. It rotates daily. If you're vegan, you can have it all vegan. The fuel is Super Green's elixir, and that is a very delicious green mix, powder, and antioxidants, and I love it. Then there's a little sort of snack. You have various different lattes that you offer at this hour, a couple of hours later. And then there's, in case you need it at your 2, 3, 4 p.m., a little bit of energy. The cleanse comes with the OMG cookie butter. No kidding. It's a nut butter. We dare you not to finish the whole jar in the first day, but it is so good. And a tablespoon, a teaspoon even, is kind of all I need when I'm feeling hungry. The last two things of the day are dinner, which is bone or veggie broth again. I always put steamed broccoli, steamed cauliflower. I'll even chunk up some avocado and throw the avocado on top. Then your magnesium, which is so delicious, you guys. If you're listening to this and you hate magnesium taste, this is going to blow you out of the water. It's so perfectly formulated. It's like silky, and it's the most beautiful color when you put your water in. And then you also provide us with a really delicious bags of tea, that fasting tea. Will you talk about that tea? Because I really love it, and I haven't found anything else that rivals it.
It's a ginger turmeric tea. So really good for digestion. Also just good for, if because we're recommending that you eat early, and if you start to get that little, ping of hunger, the tea can really help satiate and curb the appetite. So, and it's got that nice little zing in it too, because we've got cinnamon in it, and I love our tea as well. Um, and it's funny, I don't know if you had this, but just to sort of add to this idea, because it really is very kind of aligned with the vision of Chroma, but over the holidays, we actually have a chocolate bar. Did you get to do it with the chocolate bar? And
Oh, dear God, no.
so, and we always reason why it's the holidays is because we can't ship chocolate in the summer because it'll melt, and I don't have a refrigeration capacity. So, but we added a chocolate bar, and the idea around that really is synonymous to all of this, which is about pleasure. And it's about having and savoring. And so there's this cute little chocolate bar with little K's, and you get a little piece of it each night. And it's just about like enjoying that piece of chocolate, savoring it. I'm all about the greatest pleasures of life. And so, how do we do this in a way that we really appreciate it? And instead of having the whole chocolate bar, the whole pint of ice cream, we probably just needed that one bite. And part of what we're teaching really again is that intuitive in eating, that mindful in eating and just engaging with life. So all of the foods really kind of fit into that concept and vision. And I so appreciate you walking through a day because a lot of people tell us they can't finish all the food.
I can't either. I never do. I always have, like I said, I have always a packet or two set aside because I just forgot or I missed it
Yes.
and I wasn't hungry for it. And that's what I travel with.
So, and I
It's so
for you
interesting.
too, because this is something. So we do have sachets coming available. In fact, I think they're on Amazon. So little side note there. I believe we have the sachets exclusive on Amazon right now. Eventually, they will come on our site. But what I always recommend is we have that refill reset. Which for anyone doing the reset the first time, I highly recommend doing the deluxe because you get the mug and the frother and the tea and that little cute hemp purse with the poem. And it's just you get the wheel and all that. All of the resets that we offer is the same program. The only difference might be whether it's vegan or not. So it's the same program, but it's just whether the packaging's different. For for someone like you who really wants the packets for travel, the refill is so perfect because it's like a little baseball card box, and it just has the cookie butter and all of the sachets. And then you've got all your sachets to grab and go and take with you, use throughout the day, go to the office, to the gym, to the yoga studio, to the plane. So that refill is perfect for that design.
Genius. You know, in the book that you include with the reset, you have a gorgeous page on continuing positive habits. Everything from shopping your local farmer's market to becoming a professional label reader to buying organic, to continue the low sugar diet after the reset is over. And you have, like you said, a whole line of products that we can buy in larger sizes to support ourselves after the reset. And that's kind of why I wanted to have you here. I feel extremely supported by this reset a couple of times a year. I want to thank Jody Levy for turning me on to you. And I also want to point out the fact that this company is 90% women funded. And I thought it might be interesting to talk a little bit about that because it's so rare.
Yeah, that was such a vision. In fact, I was thinking about this before you and I were going to talk today because I will never forget talking with Jody, standing in the driveway it was during COVID and we were raising money. And we were talking about you. And we talked about this vision of what if we could raise money from people who were really passionate. It wasn't a men versus women kind of thing, but it was definitely leaning towards what if we could bring in really amazing women that would align with the mission, get really passionate about what we're doing, and want to help us tell the world. And that's what I did. And, whether it's a big celebrity or it's the mom in the community or everyone in between, everyone came in because they believed in the product. They felt and experienced, they understood how different and unique it is. So what has been so fun, because building a company is not easy, but what I just am in gratitude every day is the amount of energy and support that we have around us. And we get that from the men, but quite frankly, the fact that I have probably 100 women investors in my company, and they have been such a rock for me personally and for the business to help us tell the world. And it's something I'm really proud of and really honored to have as part of.
So beautiful.
It's been incredible.
So beautiful. Anything else, Lisa, that we've missed Anything that you want to talk about that I haven't touched on? I feel pretty complete with describing my satisfaction and commitment to continuing to share and use everything that you're making. Anything that I haven't touched on?
Well, first of all, I think your sharing of your experience is the most powerful. And hopefully everyone sort of, here's my passion for it and, just my commitment. This has been my why for 15 years and it will continue to be, for a lot longer. And I just think that this is a journey for all of us and there's no perfect way to do this, whether you're resetting because you don't know where to start, and whether it's because the wheels came off and we're just enjoying a lot of rosé and barbecues over the summer or over the holidays, and that's okay too, or you're getting ready for a trip to Mexico or coming home from one, or just feeling stressed out and you just don't have time, but you want to take care of yourself. It's designed to meet you where you're at, hold your hand, make it so easy that the last thing we need is to make our lives more complex and really just help you get back in your body. It's really designed for everyone. And yes, it's an investment, but what's the value of health, right? And
It's health
it's
insurance.
health insurance.
Literally, I see it as solving menopause health insurance for me personally.
I mean, I want to feel good, and that's priceless for me. And my daughter and I spent 2+ years formulating all the products and choosing the best ingredients in the world and comparing 100 matchas, organic ceremonial grade matchas, to find the best and the one that would dissolve well so it didn't get weird and didn't taste like grass and dirt and all the things that people don't like about matcha, right? Or whatever the things are, that bone broth gamey taste that makes us gag. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Or looking for a plant protein that is not highly processed, that's non-lectin, non-isolate, that is a whole complete plant protein. I literally searched the world to find a plant protein, which we're using called chocho, that didn't exist, that no one was using. And everybody uses pea protein because it's super, super, super cheap and very, very highly processed,
And also lectin.
and lectin. So it was upsetting my stomach and my digestion. And there are a few pea proteins that are exceptions. So I don't want to throw it all under the bus. But for the most part, the reason why plant companies use pea protein is because it's really cheap. And we use this chocho plant protein from Ecuador that's grown at 10,000 feet. And it probably costs 100 times more than the pea protein, at least. But I won't skimp because I understand the value of using high integrity ingredients and really sort of pushing the bar to really, and not just for us as Chroma, but I think also other companies to really act with integrity in the healthy foods that we bring into the world.
Raising the bar, sister.
Raising the bar.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Last thing, where's the ceremonial grade matcha from?
It's from Japan. It's from Japan. And
Where?
you know what?
Do you know?
I do. I can't pronounce the name of this. We just switched to a new one because I found a new, better one. So I know. And this is what we do, though. I'm constantly up leveling. And I love the one that we had, but this new one is just a little bit more refined, a little bit more vibrant. So
Oh, I'm dying to hear who you got it from. My son and I were just there.
yes, yes, yes. I would love to share it with you, especially if you're not familiar with it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm on a mission for the world to drink matcha. Just as a side note, because it changed my life when I switched from my daily morning coffee latte to matcha, and it's one of those things where it's actually was the first product I created for Chroma, which was with the intention of I have to have the world experience how matcha makes you feel. I mean, it's like a mood booster. It balances your energy. It's like you are sustained energy. You don't crash. There's no irritability. You don't have that zzz that you get with coffee. Your mind is clear, like actually, and because of all the other superfoods and adaptogens we add, it really helps with skin and anti-aging and antioxidants, which is why you get to start your day on the reset with the beauty matcha or the vegan version, the magic matcha, if it's the other cleanse, because it's a healthier version of caffeine. And I don't want to take that away from you. I want to show you another option. And I'd say 90% of the people that do our program convert to the beauty matcha after because they felt the difference. And that's exciting. So a little side plug for matcha because I do feel so passionate about the world drinking it, and you being a matcha lover too. I know you get it.
Big time. Big time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was so fun and so wonderful to connect with you.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
So let's go to Kroma Wellness, our listener, Kroma Wellness, WELLNESS.com. That's where you'll find everything we've just been talking about. Thank you so much, Lisa Odenweller, for your work.
Thank you so much.
Lexi, your daughter, thank you.
We'll offer all of your listeners a special code as well. So let's make sure we add that to.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, so
let's make the code Elena, all caps, ELENA, just to make it easy.
Yeah.
And then whatever that means to our listener, you can decide.
20.
Elena 20.
Yes.
I like it. ELENA 20. All caps, ELENA, number 2, number 0. That is a big treat for you, my listener. Our listener. Thank you.
And I would like to share that with your listeners. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks for all your love and your support and just really seeing what it is that, we've created. And that means a lot.
Thank you so much, Lisa. More soon, and wishing you all the best as you launch the new products. And Jody Levy, if you listen to this, we really love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye, dear one.